Welcome back to the Boosted Ride YouTube channel. I'm Adam. You know what? If you guys are new to the channel, appreciate you jumping on. We need like 200 and something more subscribers to hit 10K. I've got something super epic in store for you guys. And you know, I don't want to have, something in the shop here, what it is. I can't tell you until we hit 10K. So share with friends, family, share with your coworkers, anybody. Let's get these extra 200 something subscribers hit 10K. But for now, we've got some stuff to give away. You know what? Nobody ever commented back on the belt. Maybe they didn't want it. So I'm going to give the belt away. We've got the piston out of the Death Trap motor that when we rebuilt that, this is the one that took all the rubber in, guys. So took a load of rubber. And look at this. Adam wrote BoostedRide. I guess I don't even know my own YouTube channel name, so I'm not changing it. I'm leaving it, guys. So that's the Death Trap piston that sucked all that rubber inside there, scored that cylinder wall up. And, pretty epic, guys. We're coming off the 2023 season in front of Burning Green here. Third place finish. And my boy Death Trap over there. #1 for the 2023 season. So we got us 4 Ditto tires and trophy. It's in the office. So that was pretty epic. If you guys didn't watch the last video, click up here in the corner and watch the last video of our runs at Cleetus and Cars. It is what it is, boys. So we didn't finish. We didn't even get 6th place or better. I heard him rattle off 6 places. It is what it is, but 2024, let's get to 10K. We'll talk about 2024 after we hit 10K. So let's make it happen. Let's go in the office. Let's give some stuff away. Belt, piston. I'll throw a shirt in there as well for somebody. So let's go over some videos. All right, for the first one, this is the video of us getting Death Trap fired up for the first time. So we're including replies. Anything goes. Get a load of our comments in here. Let's pick a winner. All right, 600 wheel. Shoot me a message. This is going to be for the piston that I originally said I was going to give away first out of Death Trap. So if you want it, send me a message and I'll load up the next one. And next up, this is the video just before we got to Florida where we had to change that injector out. So loading comments here. Pick a winner. Eric Leifkovich. Hopefully I'm not pronouncing that wrong. Blower belt from Burning Green. So if you're interested, Eric, send me a message. You can hit us up, I guess I should tell you, on Facebook at BoostedRide or Instagram at boosted.ride. Most of you guys know that. So we'll load up the next one now. And now for the last one. This probably has a few more comments. Some of these people may not come back, but this is going to be for a shirt. Tobe Hunt. Awesome. I remember reading this post. Read them all, guys. So, Tobe, if you're interested in a shirt, I'll pick out which one it is. Just shoot me a message and let me know your shirt size and your address. For all you guys, send me your address and stuff. Just give me a screenshot, if you could, of your YouTube name to make sure that it's you, obviously. But yeah, BoostedRide on Facebook, boosted.ride on Instagram. Thank you to each and every one of you guys for commenting and coming back and watching the videos. All right, now that we got that out of the way, I just want to say, got the battery charger going on here for that excess power battery, so we can give this baby a boost up. We don't run an alternator, as you guys know. Move a few things here. So what I think happened to Burning Green, and this could be totally wrong, but obviously if you watched the video and you heard it, when I instantly hit the throttle, it was just blower and everything. You could hear it from the whine. It was just womp, 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 womp. Wasn't wanting to rev up. So I didn't go any harder on the throttle because I knew there was an issue. But here's what happened. I pulled up to the line, guys, and I thought to myself, Adam, you need a data log. So we have a Holley 6.86 dash, and I'm not blaming Holley or anything. There's probably firmware updates or something that I probably should be doing to this. Long story short, pulled off my right-hand glove, reached down to the screen, tapped the screen, nothing happened. And usually it brings up on the right side of the screen, menu, record, playback, previous and next. So you can scroll through your different designs on your display. This is a little elaborate for you guys, but nothing popped up. So I hit the button again, tapped on the screen again, nothing happened. So I said, screw it. I put my glove on, hit the throttle, and wasn't sounding right. So I looked down. Guess what? The dash was froze. I don't know if that glitched the computer out or something, because I had set up a table previously. Now, I don't think that my table that I set up had anything to do with this. It didn't. I don't think that's what made it freeze. I have a table that if oil pressure drops below a certain PSI, cuts ignition timing from 0 to -40 degrees. The oil pressure that read on the screen, at that moment I hit the screen, I think was low enough that I was in that range going from no timing retard to negative 40. It wasn't taking 40 degrees out because it wouldn't have ran. But I think we were in that range. So unfortunately, I think it was cutting ignition. And if you didn't notice, these pipes were cherry red. We've got a little bit of wiring that's a little charred. It's not bad, but definitely the wire loom took a beating. We've got a plug wire here that I've pulled off that is absolutely annihilated. And that's why it wasn't running very good, shooting flames out the back. And we've also got another one. I want to say it's this one here. Yeah, one of these. Or a couple of them. Definitely is not in the best of shape either. So unfortunately, that's what our issues were with some of this stuff here. Obviously, we'll get new plug wires. Actually, I have some from Holly that I need to put on. They might be on the shelf over here. But that sucks, guys. So that's what I think happened to Burning Green. Like I said, I think we just got in that table where it was starting to pull timing out and it froze. So I think that really had something to do with it feeding back to the computer. And it is what it is. So unfortunately, had no RPM, running extremely shitty, and we just couldn't get the wheel speed up to burn the tires off. I probably should have just stopped, but you know me. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull more plugs out. Last night I did this because we drove 23 hours straight back home, guys. I was dead beat tired, but Jason and I pulled out 1 and 3, and they're like 175, 180 PSI. Let's pull the rest. Let's check the rest over. Make sure we're good. I'm afraid we may have hurt some exhaust valves from being extremely hot. Hopefully that's not the case, but if it is, we got to get it fixed. December 16th is going to be here before we know it. Now, Death Trap. The only thing I have wrong with Death Trap is Adam's a freaking idiot, never cleaned the injectors. So that one injector was plugged, or partially plugged, causing high EGTs. And as soon as I went into the pad, I did a couple tip-ins, looked down, guess what? EGTs on number 1, 2, at least 1700 degrees. Guys, aluminum melts at like 1400, I believe. 1700 degrees is not good for aluminum cylinder heads. So unfortunately, I backed off the throttle and I ran that run at like 6,000 RPMs. And really, to be honest with you, I bumped the rev limiter up in Burning Green here because I was coming after Lucifer. So Kyle, I was trying to come after you, trying to make the run of a lifetime with these trucks. And unfortunately, we didn't have our shit together like we thought we did. So injectors are getting pulled out. They're getting sent off to Moran. We're going to get those things cleaned up. And we're either going to switch to mechanical or we got to get our act together, guys, as far as cleaning shit up. The motor had that shaft rocker that broke, so I just I let it go. I normally would start it up every week, 7-10 days, and I got stuck working on the Dodge here and just got mixed up and everything and didn't do it. So I'm not trying to make excuses, but that's what happened, and just time got lost and didn't get taken care of. So that's the issue with that one and why I didn't go as hard as I normally do. Some of you guys that watch the videos, I was still pretty tough on the truck, but I was watching EGTs backing off the throttle and trying to maintain it to try and keep that motor alive. So we'll check clear view, check everything out, but I think we're good there. Just get those injectors cleaned. Now, lastly, panel truck. So as you guys know, we're working on the back here, getting the sheet metal all put in. I'm going to start busting my butt to get some of this stuff done. And hopefully, if you guys don't, I'll put the link in the description, SAP Engines on YouTube. Jason has a lot of stuff ordered. Some of it's even overnighted because this is Thanksgiving week. And the motor from SAP Engines, we're going to try like hell to have that thing on the dyno this weekend. I'm not saying we're going to make full passes because we're just guessing on jet sizes for the mechanical injection based off of Burning Green and upping it because it is more cubic inches. And it's kind of just a game, guys. So unfortunately, they're $7 a jet. And we don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars laying around. We don't even have thousands of dollars laying around to just buy a crap load of jets. You know, like when you make these lines here, Jason has to make, you know, these ends just to crimp on here to make a rubber hose, they're $20-something a piece. And Jason needs like 16 of those. So, yeah. Unfortunately, we're going to have thousands of dollars just to get what we need to get it running. But that's the news for the Dodge panel truck. And that'll be a huge step forward. Huge motivation to get this thing running and done for December 16th. All right, let's check compression. It's killing me, the suspense. I need to know what's going on and how much work I got to do here before I worry about this and getting that done. So let's pull the rest of the plugs, check it over, and hopefully have good news. And then we can move on to checking Clearview and this, death trap, and let's move forward, guys. Not saying it's bad news, but it's, you know, it's not the greatest news. So we ranged from 175 to 200 PSI. But what we need to do is I need to get Jason's leak down tester where you put air pressure in and you can see if there's a valve leaking or rings are leaking. So we'll do that next. So we get each cylinder at top dead center. We'll put 100 PSI in there and we can see what the leak down is. So that'll be the next step here. I did pull the Clearview apart. And there's a little bit of metal, but a lot of that there, I'm not sure what the yellow is. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I don't know if it's like a paint marker or what, because the backside is actually clean on the backside. So that one's kind of a mystery to me, but the rest of the stuff looks like a lot of black silicone and stuff. So I think what we're going to do, leak down test, new plug wires, clean the Clearview, we'll put it back together, test fire it up, make sure everything sounds good, as long as the leak down's good. And then we'll check the Clearview again just to make sure nothing else came back in. And then we're going to call this one good. We may have gotten lucky on that one. So now I'm going to grab the wrench, head over to Death Trap here, and we're going to check that Clearview. I had to paint a special wrench here, painted it green, even though the paint's all coming off, because I had to grind off this entire outside to fit between the Clearview and the stud. But let me grab an oil tray, pop this off, and hopefully everything's looking good here. Like I said, get the injectors out, get them sent off, and we should be good to go with this one. So I need to let the guy know, Nate, if we are going to South Carolina. I really want to go. I want to kick some ass out there and wrap up the year with a good win. 10K, I think it is. So championship ring, a big check. Yeah, it'll be awesome. So let's pull this one off and check out Death Trap. So I pulled the Clearview out of the Death Trap, and there's a little bit of metal, but a lot of this material here, hard to see because it doesn't like to focus, but a lot of like gasket material. There's some blue down here, which is probably like valve cover gaskets. You got some other gasket maker stuff, and you're going to have that because when you put like your intake on and stuff like that, you have to build the China wall, they call it. So some may have oozed in, or on the oil pan gasket when you put it on there, yes, it's a resealable oil pan gasket, but where it goes around the front and rear of the block, you always put dabs in the corners, and it was reused, so we may have put a little bit extra on there, but all in all, it's not terrible. We're going to pull the valve covers off. We'll check all the lash on all the rockers, and we're going to turn one of these around, and what we're going to do to help with the oiling issue in here, because, you know, we really didn't help ourselves by blocking these off. We needed to let the motor breathe, so that was a mistake on our part, and proved it out by puking oil all over the place again. So, injectors out. Check the valve lash. We'll probably just do a compression test and leak down on this just to be safe. And then flip these around. And down here where the alternator is, we're actually going to mount a vacuum pump on here. So one valve cover to the vacuum pump. Vacuum pump is going to pull vacuum from the motor, so crankcase pressure out, and bring it up here. We're going to put that tank back on here. Might maybe build a bigger one or something. I don't know. We'll figure that out, or add another breather to it. But that's the game plan for this. So pull injectors, get them sent off to Moran, and throw this bad boy back together. I might do the rest of this stuff, put the Clearview back in, clean it all, double check, make sure it's good, fire it back up, check valve lash, and then before we pull the injectors out, do all that. Then we'll pull them out and send them out. That way they have time with them, and we know the rest of the stuff is good to go. So Jason came over and brought the compression test, or leak down tester, I should say, since we did a compression test. We ran the leak down test. Now, we don't have a marker on here to know where top dead center is for each cylinder, so unfortunately I had to just put a breaker bar in here and try and hold the motor from turning back over, and I'm not gonna lie, something doesn't quite sound right inside the blower, does it, Jason? I don't think we need to risk it. So we got enough things we need to do here for 2024. We don't need to add another blower to the list. So we went through all those. What was the worst one? 10%?
10 or 11.
10 or 11%.
And we're on top dead center.
Yeah, we don't know if we're truly on top dead center, so
it's cold. And
yeah, that's true too. But we went ahead and, you know, did the old electrical tape around the spark plug wire here because we're just doing it quick and dirty. We're going to fire it up here, see how everything sounds, if it does sound good or not. Everything checks out good in the motor, so I don't think we heard any exhaust valves at this point. The rings seem to be seated good. So let's get some methanol and let's fire it up.
Can't get it to start.
Yeah, it sounds like it's missing or something. Unfortunately, it's not sounding very good, so trying to pop off there and sounds like it's got a misfire or something. It almost sounds like the plug wires are hooked up backwards.
Well, when you try starting it over, it like did a went backwards right there when it just about ready to start.
Well, as I say, it's almost like it's trying to fire in the wrong order or something.
Yeah, so we got to crank your cam sensor bad or wiring or?
Yeah, I mean, wiring all looks good. Nothing seems like it's burnt or anything, but we're concerned that maybe that crank sensor, because, you know, it was glowing a little red there, Jason. I mean, in fact, I think it was, we had underglow underneath the whole truck back here. Orange underglow. All right, well, maybe we'll pull the starter down. I think we might have another crank position sensor, and we can maybe try that real quick. Otherwise, maybe pull out the old laptop and check and make sure something didn't get screwed up in there.
Maybe just do that first. It sounds easier than jacking it up and switching the sensor.
Yeah, I know, because you were going to be doing it. All right, we'll get the laptop out first. Well, inside the truck here, and I busted out one of the brand new Dominators and verified the tune. Yeah, we just got them laying around, don't we? Yeah. I wish that was the case. Okay, well, we'll try this. Ready?
You want to shoot it or?
No, I'll just crank it, I guess. I wasn't looking at RPM signal here. Give her a little shot, I guess, just to make sure. No, but it's reading RPM signal. Sounds like no ignition. Well, why don't we have the camera running at all times, Jason? Just about ran your ass over there. Did I?
No, it's bound, yeah.
Well, we kind of forgot that it was in gear. So what we ended up doing was putting a Dominator in there, the new one, and then that didn't work because it wanted a TPS auto set. Well, obviously, we run no TPS on here. And it was putting out no spark, or very little, I guess, right?
Very little.
Very little spark. Plugged the Terminator back in, and it had all kinds of spark, but it wouldn't start. It was running like crap, like you see in the first clip. So I grabbed the Dominator that we had used, that was in the Camaro. We were mocking up in the panel. Long story short, put that in here, put the tune we used on the dyno with the Dominator, and Jason about got ran over because I forgot this thing melded the shifter cable, and it's still in gear. So, but it runs. So long story short, I think we got a blower noise, which I mentioned earlier. We're going to pull that off, maybe pull the front cover. We'll just pull the front cover on the motor, I guess, while it's here. And if there's anything that looks out of place or something, we'll send it out to Rudy at RMP Blowers. Maybe he'll charge us another $68 and Jason give him a tip again. But,
67, wasn't it? I gave him $1.
oh, maybe that's what it was. Either way, I think it sounded good. Jason said he heard a little bit of noise. Sounded like it was maybe coming from the blower. We do need to run that belt a little tighter. I do see that we kind of rubbed a little bit on this hose clamp, so we don't want to ruin our good Dayco belt. But that makes me feel a lot better. So, again, injectors out of Death Trap, get those sent out. Check this blower over. Otherwise, I think the rest of the motor, I think we're good with it. So, we're going to change a few things up here. Maybe change some oils that we're running and stuff like that to help with the crankcase pressure. And what are we doing on Death Trap? We're putting a vacuum pump on for sure?
I don't know.
Well, we don't know what we're doing. We'll figure something out here. So we'll do that in the next clips here. I don't know. I think actually you're going to have to head on over to SAP Engines. Jason just spent like everything in his checking and savings probably. So that is your update from the Boosted Ride crew on both trucks. And again, I'm super excited, guys. Help me get there. 10K, seriously. I mean, you guys, you're going to love this. So now some people will hate it. You know, you always got haters out there. But 200 and something more subscribers. Let's get there. 10K. Help put the push on, guys. Boosted-ride.com if you want to pick up a shirt. And again, the people that I mentioned at the beginning of the video, message me on Facebook, Boosted Ride, Instagram, boosted.ride. Give me your address, and we'll get you guys your stuff sent out to you. So appreciate each and every one of you guys. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.